One, two, one, two, three. Good morning. Welcome to Zoe's Treasures. My name's Tracy, and I'm here with my husband, Noel. We do have a special guest we're going to bring on in just a second, but I want to just welcome everybody in. Good morning, Lake Erie Vintage. Hello, Crystal, Signature Vintage. Cynthia, how are you guys today? Hi, Mary. It has been quite a week. Good morning, Southern Charm. We have Oh, wow. Okay. It got bright here all of a sudden. My husband turned the light on and I'm blinded. So what's going on this week? Good morning. I love discounts. How are you guys doing? Anything fun, cool plans? My big thing is I am off my full-time job. Next week I am on PTO. I am so excited. I'm going to spend the whole week working on my husband's man cave. I hope to get that finished. But I just love, we're not going anywhere. I'm going to take a week's vacation just to get stuff done. I don't know if that's good or bad. Is that bad? Like when you have to take vacation to get caught up on life? I don't know. But I'm excited about it. So, I've got that last day before you go on vacation. It's good. Yes. So I'm going to work as hard as I can today, get caught up on stuff, and then just forget about work for a week. So I'm looking forward to that. 90th birthday, Cynthia. That is so cool. Like here, yep. Spend all your time off of work. I mean, I don't know. I like, if I'm not working my 9 to 5, I'm doing Whatnot usually, but then that means that the laundry's not getting done, the bathroom's not getting clean. Like there's a whole lot of stuff that's not happening in the background, to some degree. I've tried to employ a lot of different methods. I do this, I have a break around lunchtime now. So every day I work from home. So that does make it a little bit easier in some ways, because it's also could be very distracting. Good morning, Lintro. Yes, thank God it's Friday. But I've started every day uninspected finds, where I'll set a timer around lunchtime, and for 30 minutes I take a break from work, and I try 30 minutes just try to get something done in the house. And I've been feeling better. I've been feeling a little more accomplished every day, that I'm at least getting something done. So that's good. Anyways, you know what? We've got some great stuff today. I've got some things to talk about. We're going to bring on our special guest in a minute here. We're going to spend some time talking with her. But I wanted to mention sponsored giveaways. We are going to do them, but I'm going to hold them till a little bit later in the show because I just want some time to be able to focus and answer questions. So we will do those if that's something you want. And I don't know why I have stuff in my auction bin. That's probably for another show that I forgot to delete, but it's there. You can ignore it. Let's see. Oh, okay. I'm reading the chat, but I'm like, you're talking to each other. So cool. All right. So with that, let's bring our special guest on today. I'm so excited. So Southern Charm, some of you may be familiar with her. She is a newer seller. She was just on our new seller rate trade on Wednesday night, and she agreed to hop on this morning and spend some time talking to us. So let's see if we can get my husband, his technology going. And there she is. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
All right. You know what? I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are, what you sell, just a little bit about Southern Charm.
All right. Well, my business name is Southern Charm. My personal name is Michelle. So, but we sell mainly antiques, vintage, primitives, stuff like that.
So she has some awesome stuff too, y'all. If you haven't caught her shows, how did you get started on Whatnot? Is this like, do you sell on other platforms? And then like, what was the progression for you?
Well, my best friend, Choco Dog 6, she's like, I just started watching stuff on this app called Whatnot. And I'm like, okay, oh my God, not another thing. She's like, it's like an auction thing. And then it charges your card after you get your first purchase. And I'm like, she's talking crazy. I don't know what she's talking about. So she kept talking to me for about a month about this app. And I'm like, all right, just to shut her up, I'm like, let me download this thing, see what it's about. I spent probably a month just buying stuff. And I'm like, she's like, well, why don't you start selling on Whatnot? And I'm like, I don't know if I can. My anxiety will not let me be like in front of a camera and talking to people. And I was like, I just don't know if I can do it. So I was like, the heck with it. April 1st, I decided just to go ahead and try it. It's April Fool's Day. What could go wrong, right? So I was like, I'll do it. So I started not being on the camera because that just made me feel a little bit better. And then we slowly got into being on camera. But it has been fun. It's been so fun.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I feel the same way. And oh, go ahead. Sorry, you were
I
going to
said
say
it's all
something.
chocolate.
It's not Choco Duck's fault. Yeah.
I blame
Uh,
everything on her anymore.
yeah. No, I get it. When I first started, I was so afraid to be on camera too, and I was the same as you. I didn't go on camera for the longest time. And
Yeah.
y'all, before this morning, we were getting ready, and Southern Charm and I were talking a little bit about like social anxiety. And let me tell you, like it is so real. So if there's new buyers out here, like and Southern Charm can pitch in here and give her thoughts, but it is so like getting in front of a camera. Let me tell you, I'll sit up here and look like I can talk all day, but there was a point in my life, like when I went to college later in life. I didn't start college till I was 30 years old, and my first day of college, it was a room full of probably 20-year-olds, and I sat there, and the facilitator, presenter, whatever, wanted to go around the room, and everybody was supposed to say their name and where they're like what they were studying, or I don't know, some fact. You know how they do that. It got to me, and literally I wanted to like run out of the room. Like I wanted to crawl under the table. If I would have been sitting in a different spot, I would have left and never continued. um, and that's how, I mean, that was, goodness, a long, long time ago. And little by little it gets better, and I think Whatnot's the same way. I mean, do you feel even a little more comfortable now than you did your first couple of shows?
Oh, totally. It's like night and day. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it
more you
does.
do
So
something, more you feel more comfortable with it.
yeah, absolutely. I Love Discount says Tony didn't show his face until our 10K show, and he was so shy. See, and I don't, I Love Discounts. I don't get that from Tony. Like, he, to me, like the way he comes across, he seems like a very outgoing, like personable guy. All right, Southern Charm. Let's see. So, do you sell any other places, or is Whatnot your first venture into reselling?
No, I've been reselling since 2018. I have a couple of antique booths. So I do that, and then we do some like local markets, and you know, set up a booth and sell to, you know, that way.
Yeah. Are those a
I
lot of
have
work? I can imagine, like the
I
markets.
do what?
I said I can imagine the markets being a lot of work. Are they?
Oh, it's a lot of physical work. So we try not to do too much of those anymore, since the one spot that we do sell the most out of is H&H Homestead. I absolutely love the lady that owns that place. She does 4 markets a year, and we're a permanent vendor, so we get to leave our stuff there, which makes things so
Oh,
much easier. But she also does Facebook Live sales weekly too. So I have a little bit of experience in that, but I'm not the person on camera with that one. I'm just behind the scenes doing all the computer work.
yeah. I know
Just what?
sometimes I get jealous of my husband being behind the scenes, but
Yeah.
um, it's for any new buyer. So, kind of two questions here. What's something you have learned since starting Whatnot that it was just kind of like, wow, I didn't realize I was going to like learn that thing? Or the second part is, what advice would you give to new sellers on this app?
Well, the advice I would give people would be patient. It takes a while to get things going, especially if you've never been a seller before. I think that would be even harder. But being a reseller and then jumping in on the app, it's kind of like you're ahead of the game. You already know you have to go and socialize and market and have a bunch of inventory, and you kind of already know how to buy it and sell it. It's that it makes it so much easier. But the biggest thing is to be patient. It's a lot of patience.
Yeah, I'm totally agree with you on that, and I think you hit the nail on the head right there. Is that um, if you've already done it before, you have a lot of the mechanics, you have a lot of that learning curve already taken care of. So it's just really learning the app. Um, so I mean, there's a lot to it. People don't realize how much goes into reselling. Let's see, we have the
Thank
Heart of
you.
Five Sons. People need to learn about shipping before selling. That was my biggest hurdle. Absolutely have. So Michelle, have you had any issues with shipping? Or was that a hurdle for you on Whatnot? Because it seems to be a big thing for people.
It Well, now I have to say my first show and shipping, that was a disaster. I mean, I already knew how to pack things because I did a lot of research. I bought a lot of stuff before even starting on here. And really, I emulated how you guys pack because it's it's layers, and that makes sense because then there's less likely to have breakage. And then, some of the packages that I have gotten that have arrived broken, you're like, this is what not to do.
Yeah.
So when you receive packages that is outstanding and then ones that have broken, you kind of get the gist of what you need to do and what not to do. So that part was not the hard part. It was just learning the interface and doing all that because I messed up my first show. I just boxed everything, put all the labels on there, and then I was like, wait a minute, I needed to re-weigh my boxes because I need that to match, that weight level to match. Yeah, needless to say, I had to reprint every single label.
Well, you are a fast learner. I didn't learn that lesson probably till about 10 shows in. So for you to have just like got it on one show, it just shows that you have some experience coming into this and that you are a very quick learner. It took me probably a good 10 shows and watching a chat show one day. And then I'm like, oh, shoot, I'm not doing that. And I don't know why it never dawned on me, but I do that now. I've done it since then. But yes, that is, I think a lot
Yeah.
of people experience that same thing. What do we have? Discount. I love discounts. Our first show took over 10 hours to ship. It was a mess. So it seems pretty common. There's a learning curve with everything. When you ship an item, you have to account for packing material. And yes, you do. Yep. It's not just the item itself. Let's see. What is your favorite item to sell or type of item to sell?
Well, I love Crocs, I love stoneware, and I love pottery.
Yeah.
And they're all very heavy. So it's like I like the heavy stuff. It's just that it's just how it has been. But um I just I love those items because they're timeless. They were a utilitarian piece. And I mean, I love the primitive look anyway. So that is kind of what I really, really love to sell. But I also love Pyrex. And
Oh,
yeah, it's one of those things that I also collect, and it's
yeah.
just I love it. I love everything about it, the history. That's kind of what I really like to sell. It's just something that has a history to it.
I totally agree. I love if I know something about the item, I love talking about it. We had a question, and I'll let you answer this one. Do you find that even though you pack really well, you occasionally have a broken item? I always feel so bad. And that's from Journey to Vintage.
Yes, because sometimes you get a box and you're like, oh my God, this poor box has been through war. And it's like it is broken open. And sometimes you're like, how did that survive? Or you get something that looks pristine, maybe has something going on the outside, but then it arrives broken and it's like it was wrapped perfectly. There, how would that have happened? But
Yeah.
I think a lot of it, if you wrap it properly and it arrives broken, more than likely it's the mail system where they've just taken a box that's like 20, 30 pounds and dumped it onto something else that's fragile. It's just how it is. That's how anything is that you ship.
Yeah, I agree. So,
Yeah.
Signature Vintage, we will come back to that. I'm going to note your question. So, after we're done with the interview, we'll come back and talk a little bit about that. Um, fun fact, not
Mm.
so fun fact, y'all. So, I actually shipped Southern Charm a gorgeous ironstone platter that just
Yeah.
cracked like two or three places. It was awful. And again, yes, you feel terrible, but I totally agree. Like all you can do is your best. You pack the best you can, and then you just cross your fingers until it gets to the person. I mean, that's all you could do, really.
And that's what I'm doing with your swan. I'm crossing my fingers and I'm hoping it arrives safely.
I'm sure it'll get here good. Let's see. How about this? If you ran Whatnot, what is something you would change about the platform?
I don't know, not too much. Maybe something on the back end for sellers. Um, when you have an item that, gets sold during your show, but then their payment does not go through, I wish there would be a way that a report would come out after and say, you know what, this item, their payment did not go through. This is the item. So you're not sitting there searching for it and like, oh my God, I left this item out of somebody's package. And then you have to go through everything that you sold that night in person. And that, I don't know how, I probably spent at least an hour and a half one night when it first happened to me.
Oh, I totally agree. And it's like it just disappears into nowhere. Like, so like
Yeah,
if you're
it's
anything
after,
like
and
me, if
yeah,
you're anything like me, when you sell something, it probably goes into like a certain pile or a certain section of your house. You have like a table, right? Yeah.
yeah.
So then afterwards, you're expecting to pack all that, and they're like, it's just gone. What
And you
happened?
pack it, you'll have an item left. And I'm like, oh crap, I've done something wrong this time.
All right. So Moody, I'm going to turn this question over to you, and then I'll answer after you. Moody says, do you put stickers on your stuff sorry, let me start again. Do you put stickers on your stuff or the buyer's or name when something sells? What's your like organization method?
If it's pre-listed, I don't, unless it's a choice item. I did start, where I wrote down people's names and stuck it on each item, but that's been taking too long. So I've switched just to, it's preloaded, it's over there. It'll get sorted afterwards. If it's a choice item, I do write somebody's name on it. Random pulls, I do have a sticker. So like, I'll have a sticker on the bottom like this.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put the number, and if it's a choice item, I will also put their name on there. But I just number it as
Yeah, match the number of whatever it's sold on the screen, like item number
yeah,
one,
it just
two.
it runs faster that way.
Yeah, that's what I do. I actually have found I buy because I limit the number of items I usually do to about 40, give or take. So I have stickers pre-printed to 40, and that's what I use. So I'm just, when I do randoms, but just like you, if it's preloaded, it listed on the packing list. I'm not going to waste my time with it.
Exactly.
All right, let's see here. I had all kinds of questions for you. Is there anything you just like want to talk about? Anything you want to tell people, or just kind of open floor?
We can just open the floor because I have no idea what to talk about. It's your show.
It's my show. Do you guys have any questions? Let's see. We have Go Exercise. Go Exercise. Am I reading that right? First time here. Your show production is great. First time viewing. 3 different sections. Well, thank you so much. So yes, our layout is a little bit different. So we are co-hosting, but we're not co-hosting through Whatnot. This is actually, my husband can explain it a lot better, but we're using FaceTime and some technology so that we can be side by side. I think Whatnot's co-hosting feature is wonderful. Oh, here, I'm gonna let him explain.
I just don't like the split screen where the screen on the bottom is just blocked by the chat. So I figured we'll give you a different option.
So yeah, that's what I was going to say, is that when you have the split screen top and bottom, somebody on the bottom is always covered up a bit. So he found a way around that, which I really like. Thank you, Journey to Vintage. We had another question from Moody. Do you also organize by packing the box as the show goes on?
No, I don't. I don't have enough stuff to do something like that. Plus it's breakables, so you really can't necessarily do that.
Yeah, I agree. It takes a while because you've got like, I don't know about you, but for every hour I'm on the show, I'm at least 2 hours shipping. Easy, like with everything
Pretty much.
That's breakable. Yeah. Now, Moody, if you want to learn more about using a box as like when you're doing the show, I know I Love Discounts. They utilize that system, so they would be a good person to reach out to. There you go, right there. Like I'm like Michelle, I don't have the space for it. And then with the breakables, like I just can't pile breakables on top of breakables in a box. So
That would
one thing
give me a heart.
Pardon, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said that would give me a heart attack, stacking them on top of each other.
Yes. We have another question, but real quick, one thing that I bought on Amazon that I found helps me out a lot, because I'm in my basement. We're over here in the corner, And where I store everything is on the other side of the basement. So I bought a little rolling cart and it has 3 shelves on it. I leave it here, and as things sell, I fill up the cart, and then I can just roll the cart to my shipping area. So that helps me. Let's see, we have a question. Do you think it's better to be on camera during your show? This is from Two Antiques to Journey. So since Southern Charm, since you started off camera and then came on camera, do you think it's better, or have you seen a difference?
For me, my sales did go up. But I think it's whatever you're comfortable with. I mean, if you have small items, I think not being on camera is good. So if you're doing jewelry like minis, I wouldn't be on camera. You want to showcase that product. But whenever I turned the camera around and I started showing my items and a little bit more of my personality, my sales did go higher, and I could get more of an interaction in the chat as well.
Yeah,
but you just do whatever.
I agree with you. I think the same thing happened to me when I finally got up the courage to go on camera. It is a social app, and I mean, by nature, I'm an introvert. This is pushing it for me. Like, I have to make myself do this. But like we were talking earlier, it gets easier after a while. But I think there is more of that social interaction. One of the things I would suggest, if you're a new seller, spend some time looking at other sellers, go to other shows, and go to ones that you, at least in your eyes, look like they're doing good or successful or that you really like, and then figure out what it is that you like about them. What is it that draws you into their room? And those are the type of things, and you kind of gather all those good things and you kind of incorporate it in your own style, your own way for your show. I can't wait to give. I love discounts. Funny, I used to work with the girl who's even more introverted than me, and she hated to be touched. And that was my thing. I would walk up to her and like rub her back all the time. Oh, it drove her nuts, but it was our thing at work. So. All right. I don't, any other questions, y'all? Let's see. I cover the number of people in my room with a sticker. I just to be by yourself and stay in tune with the chat. That's a good idea. Does that number ever get in your head, Southern Charm, that how many people are in your room?
Most of the time I just try to ignore it. Unless you get a big group of people and then you're like, oh my God, I need to hurry up and start selling stuff. And it's like, you're just constantly just doing this, like, oh my God. But I try to ignore it.
Yeah, me too. I try. I'll look at it, and then after the show, I'm always asking my husband, what was our average room count? Because, it is a metric. It is something that you kind of like want to know, but at the same time, when you're in the midst of it, I'm like, I don't want to know. So.
Exactly. I'm like, I don't want to know how many people are actually watching me. I would just, no.
Yeah. Do you ever, and I don't think I've ever heard people talk about this. So do you have anybody like in your other life, not whatnot, but like your real life, that watch you and like maybe you don't know, or like I have people I work with who know I do this, and I'm always in the back of my head, like I know there's one or two that tunes in every now and then. I'm like, oh, are my work people watching me? I always get like a weird feeling about it.
Not really. Now my mother-in-law popped in on Wednesday night, and that was exciting because I mean, I've gotten lucky with a great mother-in-law, but to see her pop up, I didn't even know if she knew how to download the app, for one. But I seen her in there, and that was fun. But I don't have a regular 9-to-5 job. I mean, vintage is my life. So I don't know if anybody in my actual immediate group watches me besides Choco Dog, maybe some of the other ladies that I work with at H&H Homestead. But yeah, I haven't gotten that yet, so I try not to think about that too.
I know it makes me nervous.
I'm just in a room by myself talking to myself. That's what it is.
And we can do that, right? Who all out here, like in the chat, has not talked to themselves, right? That's normal, right? I think it's normal. Tell me it's normal, so I feel better.
It's normal. I do it for myself.
Okay, good. Let's see here. Eye for Beauty says, I celebrated my gross sales yesterday. Congratulations, Eye for Beauty. I don't know what they are, but I'm glad you celebrated. Well, I mean, I know what gross sales are, obviously, but congratulations. Let's see. Journey to Vintage. I have been stuck at about 30 viewers for a while, trying to figure out how to grow now. What should I do? Do you have so Southern Charm? What kind of advice or what helped you grow? Because you've really like taken off. Like since you started, you have been a great example of somebody who is just like rocking it.
Well, that's kind of like where the ADD comes in. You just kind of focus and hyper focus on everything. So I went into everybody's seller shows, no matter what category it's in, because you learn something from each category, seeing what they do, and you get some different advice. So it's just being present in the chats, in your own category, going to shows, talking in the chats, and then of course buying stuff, and then everybody hears your name. So it's just kind of like a name recognition thing. So you just keep asking questions, or the more people hear your name, the more they'll associate, and they're like, oh well, let me check out her profile, let me just go ahead and follow this one. It's kind of how I started, and I started building up my follower account before I even started selling.
I think that right there is perfect advice, especially building up your following account before you start selling. There's so many of us who just jump right into this app, watch a couple of shows, and we're ready to go. So kind of getting your feet wet and learning about it and building up that following, that was such a good like step that you took. We have another question. I have been taking a hit with packing rates. My average item is 2 to 3 ounces. How do you ensure you have the best packing rate? So first off, I'm going to say then I'm going to give you an answer and see if Michelle has anything else to say about it. I think Whatnot has one of the best rates for USPS. A little disappointed we can't use other shippers, but they have one of the best rates out there compared to the other platforms. If you are weighing your items appropriately and just adding on the appropriate weight for your box, and if it's bubble wrap, I'm not sure what you sell, but whatever packing material you have, the rates are going to be the rates. They are already really good rates. So unless you're not overestimating your weight drastically, I would think that your buyers are getting the best rates that they can. Do you have any other thoughts on that?
But that's mainly the thing. To get used to packing and stuff, what I did was I took what I thought was the right amount of bubble wrap in the box that I knew that one item would ship in, and I put it all on scale. And it's like you kind of have to add like maybe 6 ounces to everything, depending if it's breakable. But you kind of have to compensate for the box, and that's the biggest thing you have to remember, is compensating for the box and the wrapping material.
Absolutely. And definitely if you have to double box, like I know sometimes you've probably had to do that with some of the breakables you sell, is it's not just one box, now it's 2. And that will really like, I'll tell y'all, there's times I'm packing and it comes up to, 14 or 15.9 ounces. And I'm like, all right, I got to figure out how to like take a piece of paper out and still keep it under the pound, or, or maybe not go over the 5-pound mark. So we have one more question. How does bundling work? Does Whatnot automatically do it? So to Antiques Journey, there's 2 different types of things I think of when I hear the word bundling. One is on the shipping side, and that's like everything. If you have a buyer that buys multiple items and it bundles into a box, Whatnot automatically will do that for you based on the weights that you input for those items. And then on the back end for shipping, you have the opportunity, if all of those items don't fit in a box, to unbundle and put them into separate boxes. The other interpretation of bundling, when I hear that word, is as a seller, if I'm showing you stuff and I say, hey, check this out, look at we've got an iPhone here, and we also have this remote, I'm going to bundle them together and sell them as a bundle. And that's a manual process that a seller does. Go, I cannot read, okay, help me out. Excelco, I said exercise, it's Excelco, sorry, I have a big old screen in front of me and I still can't see. Excelco says, thank you so much for all those shipping, the advice that they had been adding on the boxes and stuff. And 9 Dimes agrees that less than $10 for a large flat rate is amazing. It is. Y'all, if you're a seller, I mean, those of us that sell on other platforms, we know Whatnot has good prices. As a seller, if you're doing your job and being honest about the weights and adding on the appropriate shipping, don't feel bad about the shipping costs. Like, they are really good prices still.
They are, because even if you use something like pirate ship, it's still more expensive than Whatnot's pricing. And the flat rate boxes, I was at the post office the other day. I think they're like $30 for like the small flat rate. So when you can get a big flat rate and it's 921, I mean, you can't get that anywhere else.
You can't. I mean, not at all. And I also try to think about it like this: 921, that's like a venti caramel macchiato, maybe a couple bucks more, but that's just the price of a coffee. It's not. It, I mean, it's all relative. We think $9 for shipping or $9 for coffee. Most of us would be like, yeah, I'll pay $9 for a cup of coffee. But then you're like, for shipping, it's not that much.
It's really not. Yeah. So how has your free shipping been going?
Oh my goodness. I was going to talk about that today. So, free shipping. So, those of you in the chat that have not been in my shows recently, we are making the move to free shipping. So, as a vintage, in the vintage decor category as a seller, that's pretty scary because everything weighs a lot. Like, there's very few times that I will sell something that weighs less than the pound once I get all the bubble wrap and everything on it.
Right.
So, let's see. My husband's pointing to a comment. Hold on, let me answer this question. I'll come back to free shipping. Doing a book show, only books, so books bundle and ship media if only books sold. Yes, Lake Erie, they will, as long as the book is set up in the book category and your show is in the book category. Whatnot will automatically do bundling and media mail for you.
But the thing with media mail, you can't have any advertisements in those books.
Yes, and that's a really good point. I didn't know that at first, and I was putting my advertisements in, and so I had messed up at the very beginning, and I learned that. I actually learned that probably through you, Southern Charm. It was in a chat show that I learned that you couldn't do that.
Right. And they will randomly open media mail as well to double check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know what that means. Bahani, I'm not sure what you don't know what it means unless you're talking to I Love Discounts. Oh, media mail. Media mail is a cheaper form of mail that the post office offers, but it's only for specific printed materials. But like Southern Charm was saying, you can't be advertising. I learned at the last show, not magazines. So
No.
for like books, if you're selling books, there's other types of media that the post office has just a cheaper rate. Let's see, we have another. What's the difference between priority shipping box and a mailing box? Lintro. Priority shipping box literally says, like, it's a white box. Sometimes they're white and blue, white and red. And it literally says priority mail on the box. You can get them free from USPS. And it is a class of shipping. So if your label says priority mail, you can use that label on a regular brown box or a priority box. If it says priority mail flat rate, you can only use a priority mail flat rate box. So we can talk a little bit more about that later. Hopefully that answered your question quickly. I'm going to go back and answer Michelle's question on free shipping. So it's going good. Honestly, I'm going to keep doing it. So I've been making the move to free shipping. I've done 3 shows now of free shipping. The very first show, my shipping was high. I'm not going to lie, it was high because what I didn't want to do is just raise my prices, because any buyers that come to my show would be like, well, wait, I just saw that item and it was $5 yesterday and now it's $12. What do you do? Like, you're not going to fool anybody. People are smart. Your buyers know what's going on. So I didn't want to just raise all my prices. So there were a few select items and new things I brought in. I might have priced a tad bit higher. What I did stop doing so much is discounting the items. So if I had something for $12, I would run it. Oh, let's run it for $8. Because when I was charging shipping, I felt comfortable discounting the item. So I find now that I'm doing less discounting of items, but I'm offering free shipping. So I still feel that my buyers are getting some good value for their money. I'm going to continue to do it. I would love to have all of my shows go to free shipping. It's something that we're definitely going to employ moving forward. My goal now is to focus on taking my shipping costs as a percentage of my sales and getting that a little bit lower. So to do that, that means I have to sell more items. I have to encourage more, this one customer to buy more items in a show. That will help reduce that cost. And then just pricing the items accordingly and not offering so much of a discount when I do offer discounts. So, I love discounts. I'm sorry, what was that?
I see you don't have that problem with me. I buy a lot.
You do buy a lot. Y'all, this is like probably my best buyer right here, and I'm not joking. And I am so thankful for her. Honestly, like I think a part of my success is directly related to Southern Charm. I'm dead serious with that. And
But
that's just like invaluable.
I do have to say, since you started doing the free shipping, it seems like you're getting more people in your room and a lot more people bidding on items as well. So I'm like,
Yes.
yes, like, yeah, I'm like cheering for you the entire time. I love it.
Thank you so much. And you are right. Those are some of the metrics I'm watching is the number of people in my
Yeah.
room. I mean, I can't necessarily know the bidding wars. There's no like metric to watch that, but I feel that items are getting bid up more. I'm also seeing more new buyers, so that's good. And I'm trying
Good.
to like look at the numbers to start to try to figure out how to calculate return buyers. It's not quite as easy and whatnot. It's not as like clearly visible. But no, I love it. And like you said, there's just all these other things that are happening that I think are driving it up, the success up. So we're going to keep going for it. It's a minute.
I can't. What?
They fired you. All right. All right. So can I start? Okay, is this working? I don't know if y'all can hear me on. I'm
No,
trying to switch
you're
to my
not.
phone.
No. Let me see. You're back on.
All right. Am I back on? Here I am. Look at me. This is what I do. This is me in technology like this. All right. I think we lost Michelle, and I am so sorry because I was so enjoying that conversation. You see me? Can you hear me? Can just put a yes if you can hear me. Oh, there's two of me, so you might want to take that down. One of me is more than enough.
1 second.
All right, we're working on it. All right, sound is good, image is clear. I am so sorry. And Michelle, thank you so much for being on here. I hated to end it that way. That is not what we intended whatsoever, but our internet just went off. And my husband was over here scrambling like a crazy man trying to get us back on. Y'all, thank you. Thank you so much to Southern Charm, and I really appreciate her being on here. This is something we want to do more often is bring our newer sellers on and just talk. So y'all, if you can give Southern Charm, we'll get her name up there. Give her a follow if you are not already, because she is amazing. All right, let me go back to some of these questions and let's see if we can get caught up on some questions here. What did I miss before I went to outer space there? Oh, I was talking about my percentage of sales. I Love Discounts asked me that a long time ago. Not percentage of sales, the percentage of shipping. So my very first show was like 46%. 46% of my total sales went to shipping. So that's almost half. And that number will give you a heart attack. Um, it was very shocking. However, I chose the items I was selling. I knew what my cost was, and I was willing to do that. At the end of the day, I didn't lose money. I pretty much broke even. The next show was a little bit less. My third show, which was last night, I haven't calculated yet, but I haven't shipped yet, but just looking at the numbers, I'm pretty sure it is a few percent points less than that. So I am working on getting that down. My goal is to have my shipping cost me about 25% of my sales, which I think would be a reasonable amount in my expectations. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Let's see, I know I saw some questions. USPS announced a first class increase in July. Any idea of Whatnot will raise our PWE cost again? Cynthia, I don't know for sure. I don't have it in with Whatnot, but I would not be surprised. They can't absorb all that cost. I mean, if it's like maybe a penny, maybe, but think of how many, even a penny adds up on a large scale like Whatnot. So I know last time the post office raised our rates, Whatnot raised our rates. So I would not be surprised if it happens. How do you counter the cost of doing free shipping? So we started to talk about that. Ban Hanny, how do I counter the cost? One, it's a cost of doing business. I was doing reduced shipping before I did free shipping. So I was already used to paying a certain amount. There's only a few ways you can counter the cost. Reduce your expenses elsewhere. So reduce what you're paying in your shipping supplies and your marketing, whatever other expenses you have. So you can reduce your other expenses so you can take that funds and pour it into shipping. Then your net bottom line still remains close to the same. So that's one way to start to mitigate that cost. The other is to raise your prices. In my case, I was saying earlier, I don't want to raise my prices too much. So instead of raising prices, I stopped doing giveaways and discounts on my items. So during my shows, a lot of times I would have something for $20, I would run it, it wouldn't sell. I would say, all right, let's run it for 15 now. And so I would drop the price down by 5. And I would do that a lot in my shows. I quit doing that. I'm going to price my item at the price it needs to be. Oh, sorry, and my hair's rubbing on my microphone, making noise. So I quit doing the discounts. I have also, just in the last couple of shows, when I am doing free shipping, I've quit giving giveaways. Instead, I am giving away free shipping. So I am giving the value of shipping instead of giving Starbucks gift cards or, ephemera or whatever it may be. Those are ways that I'm personally employing to help me with that shipping cost. And I apologize about the internet loss. I'm catching up on comments right now. Let's see. I've really wanted to do free shipping since my items are handmade. I make clothes and upcycle clothes. You know what? What I would say about free shipping, and this is one of the things I was going to talk about today, is I love discounts. I'm going to get, yes. So I'm sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. I want to do free shipping. I'm back to Ban Handy's comment. Since you make clothes, one of the things I would suggest in doing free shipping, I am all for it. I think it's great. And I also like it better than dollar starts. And I'll tell you why in a little bit here. Just be prepared for it. Like, look at your past shows before you just jump into free shipping. Look at your past shows and calculate what the shipping cost was. I did this for multiple shows. It takes a little bit of work and whatnot, but you can go to your shipments page and you can see really quickly what you paid over and above what each buyer paid. And then if you go into each order, it's time consuming, you can see what the buyer paid for shipping. Add that all up. That was the total cost of shipping for a show. Know what those numbers are. So if you regularly sell, $500 in product, every show you regularly have 10, 15 buyers, you can get a good feel about how much shipping costs. Now you know what to expect for your next show. So I would encourage you to at least try, maybe reduced. I love free shipping, and I think that's the way of the future. There's a lot of sellers doing this. It's a big talk of the town lately. But don't do it because there's pressure. Don't just cave to the peer pressure. Do it because it makes sense for your business. Southern Charm just started reduced shipping. Congratulations. It's amazing. What am I missing here? I love discounts. The result of giveaways and free shipping was insane. Absolutely. So I love discounts is a really good another example of somebody who's been going to free shipping recently. But they also do dollar starts, which is amazing. So free shipping and dollar starts. They just had a 25K follower show, and they gave away $25 gift cards. When you are doing giveaways, so this is something I'm missing on the giveaway side. When you are doing giveaways, there's something in the algorithm. It likes it for some reason, and it helps boost that show to some degree. I don't understand the whole algorithm, but I do know there's a correlation there. And so just the fact that if you're doing giveaways, that helps a bit. But when you put free shipping on there, Michelle, Southern Charm mentioned it, that she has seen the people in my room count go up. It's no lie. It does. It automatically goes up. Because I'll tell you what, if you go to the vintage decor category and you flip down right now, how many people do you see has free shipping? I saw one yesterday. I thought I was the first and the only one. I Love Discounts was checking, and they've seen a couple others. And I saw one lady yesterday do it. She did a 10-minute show. She was a brand new seller, and my heart was like beating for her because I'm like, girl, you are brand new. Like, I'm talking like less than like 10 sales new. Doing free shipping, that takes some courage right there. Southern Charm, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. I'm so sorry about how that ended with our internet going out. We really did not want it to end that way. No one does, so Southern Charm said no one does free shipping in vintage. It's very, very rare. There were sellers in almost every other category. Yes. So I Love Discounts is making a great point. If you go to the other categories and you start looking through clothing, pallets, I think it's mandatory if I heard right. But you look in clothing, cards, coins, a lot of these others, people are doing free shipping. It sets you apart. Look at your category that you're doing. Like in vintage right now, if I'm one of the very few, that sets me apart. From a buyer's perspective, just think about it from a buyer. If you have a show, two sellers that you know, they sell about the same stuff. Their shipping is both really good. Hold on. No, it's okay, honey. And their shipping is really good. And one offers free shipping and the other doesn't. It's almost a no-brainer, right? I mean, it's definitely a draw for people. All right, I'm going to get to the questions. I see them flowing in here. We're going to get to them. I just wanted to properly say goodbye to Michelle real quick here. Hold on, I got to put my ears in so I can hear her when she's talking. And then there you go. I'm so sorry about that. It is not the way we wanted to end it.
It's fine. I understand.
There. All right. Thank you so much for being on today. I really appreciate it. And I mean, you're amazing. You guys, she really is amazing, and she has great stuff. So up and coming seller. Did you hit your 1,000? How close are you to your 1,000?
I am 75 items away, but I do have a show today at 1 o'clock. So I hope to hit it. I'm staying live until I hit it. Pretty much.
There you go. Everybody, this is possible. 1 p.m. today, we can help her get to 1,000. I was on another show the other day where the seller was like 75 or so short. And I'm telling you, within 20 minutes, that whole chat jumped in and she was at 1,000. So it's doable. So I will be there at 1 o'clock. We will see you then. Thank you so much for coming and joining us this morning.
And thank you for having me.
Thanks. All right. All right, you guys.
Thank you.
So I'm going to get back to some questions here. What did I miss? Ban says I sell the 10 to 15 items a show, so I feel like free shipping would be beneficial. Yep, I think so too. The new followers during giveaways may account for the algorithm bump. Possibly, but I've stopped doing giveaways. For me, I've stopped doing giveaways on free shipping. But yeah, new followers during giveaways. So that, Cynthia, you bring up a good point. When you guys do giveaways, if you do them, because they are not mandatory, this is a choice you make as a seller, and it's okay not to do them if that's what you choose. It's okay. I want to say that loud and clear for everybody. If you are a seller or a new seller and you choose not to do giveaways, there is nothing wrong with that. On the same front, if you're choosing to do them, that's okay too. It's your business. If you do them, you know you have a choice. Follower, it's buyer. You can do buyer's giveaway, followers only, so that in order to enter, they have to click the follow button, or just for everybody. Personally, at the very beginning, I did followers only when I was really caught up on follower numbers. When I realized follower numbers aren't as important as they seem, I quit doing that and decided any giveaways that I do are always open to everybody. Because honestly, I want you to follow me because you want to follow me, not just to get, a gift card or a postcard or whatever it may be. But again, it's a choice. You do what works for you. Lake Erie Vintage, you're the only one doing free shipping that I've seen in Vintage so far. Close to it. Like I said, I saw one girl yesterday, but again, she was so new. Oh, and I was going to message her and I was going to say, do you know you have free shipping on? And then I was like, I don't know if I should do that. I didn't message her. She didn't sell anything. She was only on for like 10 minutes. She didn't sell anything. So I was like, okay. But then she subsequently has scheduled more shows with free shipping. So I'm thinking she's doing this on purpose, which is fine. It's great. Do buyers prefer to see the buyer or the item? Crystal Critter. Good question. What do you guys prefer? In the chat, what do you prefer? Do you prefer to see me or no me and just the item? So I'm going to give you my opinion. My opinion is I like a little bit of both. So I think Southern Charm was really right in her assessment of whether to be on camera or not. If you're selling minis, they're hard to see. If I'm selling this and this is a mini, it's hard to see from here, right? And even if I go like this, it's not that great. So I would want to flip my camera around and do the zoom and really show that mini. But if I'm selling big stuff, if I'm selling this piece of pottery, you can see this just fine from back here. So speaking of selling, I'm going to do a shameless plug here because I only have 2 days left to plug this. So y'all bear with me for a second. I am on Battle of the Best this weekend. Sunday is Battle of the Best. I Love Discounts was in here earlier. They are on Battle of the Best also. This is my battle item, you guys. Check this out. This is a Epiphany glass console bowl. That is all glass in there. It is a gorgeous piece. I love the cloud of glass down here on the bottom. It is signed down here, Epiphany glass. Gorgeous, gorgeous piece. If you were to look this up, I only found one just like it. So it is a pretty rare design of glass. And that is on Battle of the Best this weekend. If you guys like that, please feel free to go and place your pre-bids. And that's it. That's the end of my commercial. What other questions do we have? Let's see. I'm missing it. Hold on. I'm scrolling up. Okay, I Love Discounts. It looks like there are 5 sellers in the antiques and vintage decor category doing free shipping currently. So there we go. We have our numbers. There's 5 of us. That's still very low number compared to the, how many? Couple hundred at least, if not more sellers. Ben Honey says, reason I don't typically do giveaways, I don't want a follower for a freebie. I want to do giveaways in honor of seller's rating. Yeah, see, so you're doing it in a way that makes sense for your business. I totally support that. Is your tech support for hire to get both on the screen at the same time? Be More Thrifty. He is not for hire. I'm going to keep him, but he is doing a seller support chat show on graphics, and I don't know if he's going to cover the split screen, but he is doing graphics. It is July 5th, but you have to sign up because we're limiting it to 10 people so that he can really answer questions and pay attention. You can go to my website to sign up for that. So it's www.zoestreasures.com. So just like my username. And along the top, there's an event sign up. Click there, scroll down, you'll see it, and you can sign up if you're interested in going because it's going to be like a private Whatnot show. What else do we have? What questions am I missing? A lot of people are getting away from giveaways, and if they have a raid, they do a $1 start. I want to talk about that because I think that's super important. Let me read this next question though first. There is at least 20 sellers in the beauty category that have adopted free shipping in the last week, y'all. Free shipping is taking over. It is fire right now, and it's not going away. Because once buyers get used to having free shipping, why are they going to want to pay for shipping? Once you have Amazon Prime, do you want to go back and pay for something on Amazon? Not really, right? And even those of you who have Amazon Prime, and you're looking and there's something big and there's a shipping charge, you're like, I'm not buying that. I'll go find somebody some deal on with the Prime deal, right? It's here to stay. It's not going away. Now, I do not want to discourage new sellers who would be like, there's no way I can do free shipping. I think it's possible. I'm not saying you have to do it or jump into it, but at least look at numbers, consider it, and consider the long-term impacts. We were talking earlier, the number of people coming into my room, the number of new buyers, the number of returning buyers, all of those numbers are growing because of free shipping. And I've only done 3 shows so far, totally free shipping. I wanted to come back to Out and About Vintage said, a lot of people are getting away from giveaways, and if they have a raid, they do a $1 start. So this is something that Green 13, Jeremy at Green 13 talks about frequently. And I actually changed my perspective because of what he said. His selling style is far different than mine. And I don't always agree with what he says, which is okay because we're people and we have our own opinions. But he is an incredibly smart guy. And some of the stuff he says is so spot on. The stuff I usually disagree with is because his selling style and my selling style are different. So some of the stuff that he does doesn't work for my selling style. He is a large volume seller and I am a more niche seller. However, he talks about giveaways and $1 starts. The pure concept of it. Somebody comes in your room, you get a raid, and you're going to give something away. I'm going to give this earbud away, okay? They have to wait around for 5 minutes, right? So now you're trying to do something to keep this group of people engaged for 5 minutes. Do you know what the average attention span of an adult is? Like 6 seconds or something crazy like that. You have mere seconds to grab them. And the thought of, a free $5 gift card or a postcard or something like that is probably not enough to grab them and keep them in your show. I know people think, if I do a giveaway, that gives me 5 minutes to show them what I have. That's not always true. So if you do a $1 start though, what are you doing? One, you are having a chance of making money. If I'm going to start this pen at $1, look at this pen. Look how amazing it is. Thank you for the raid. We're going to start this as $1 in honor of XYZ who just raided into me. Now, you have a chance of making money because you're selling this. Odds are it's not going to sell at $1. I've never had a raid item sell at $1 and without a lot of people in the room. You're giving them a discount. You're giving them something directly related. There's a lot more psychological stuff that Jeremy explains more in his talk shows. So definitely I encourage you to go watch his talk shows. They're amazing. I just think a $1 start item makes more sense than a giveaway. Again, it's your business. You do what works for you, and that's okay. Let's see. I love discounts. Honey, I think that's to you if you want to answer. They're trying to sign up. Something wasn't working. Let me look at what other questions. Because if you pin an item you're running for the $1 start, you get to talk about yourself before you hit run, or talk about it while it's running. Pin it for 20 seconds and talk about it, or pin it, run it for 20 seconds because they want to be able to bid. You want those bids going on. You want to grab them, and talk about yourself. I'll start the item, and then I'll be. Those of you who just came over with XYZ seller, my name's Tracy. This is Zoe's Treasures. We sell vintage decor. Today we are doing this. I mean, have that ready. That is also your elevator pitch. Have that speech ready. Know what you're going to say. Because if you're anything like me, I get tongue-tied and I lose my train of thought really easy. And I get really excited when a raid comes in and then I'm like, blah, right? So practice that. Practice. What are you going to say when that raid comes in? I'm going to say, hi, my name's Tracy. This is Zoe's Treasures. Today we are selling blue and white items. Today we are selling primitive, whatever it may be. Have that ready so it becomes natural and you just have your little spiel as soon as that raid comes in. And I do whatever my next item is, whatever I'm holding up or whatever I'm about to run, I just do it for $1. You don't have to do that. Have something ready. Have a $1 item. This is my raid item. You don't have to tell nobody. You don't have to show it, but it's there for when you get a raid. Let's see. We know this to be true because the giveies raise and the drop. Okay, so we're talking about like people coming in because of giveies. Yeah, it will push you in the algorithm. Baby need shoes. Jeremy who? It is Green 13. So if you do a Google search, can you tag Green 13? Okay. So he does a talk show every Sunday morning. It is like our routine, mine and my husband. I get up, I go make our cup of coffee, we crawl back in bed, and we put Jeremy on our big screen. We hook our phone to the big screen, and we just chill out. We listen to Jeremy, and we try to talk in the chat. So that's our routine. He is incredibly intelligent.
Thank you, Jeremy, for popping in.
Oh, I didn't know you were here. Well, thank you. Thanks for coming in if you're still here. But yeah, absolutely. Just go watch his shows. You'll learn so much. But like any other show, my show included, take every seller's advice or every chat show advice like with a grain of salt, or at least like take it in and think about it and think about how to apply it to your business. Like I was saying earlier, I Love Discounts, Green 13, they are large volume sellers. They go very fast. They kind of approach, the selling approach is turning over a lot of inventory in a very short amount of time. That's a different approach than me selling vintage decor, where I'm going to hold something up, I'm going to talk about it, I'm going to show it, I will rerun it, because I'm selling piece by piece by piece at a lot slower pace. So a lot of the business principles and concepts apply, but there's some stuff I'm like, that doesn't quite work for the way I do it, but there's still maybe some little bits of wisdom in there that I could apply or that I could take to make it work for my business. How do you decide which shipping profile to use? Do you go by weight, or if you use flat rate, do you just pick small, medium, or large? Bobby Ray, if you were just starting out, my suggestion for new sellers is to let Whatnot do your bundling for a couple of shows. Put in your weights on your items accurately, whatever the item plus the packaging would weigh, enter those accurately, and then let Whatnot do the bundling. If it's under 5 pounds and you have a priority box that it fits in, a flat rate box, let me rephrase that. If it is under 5 pounds and it fits in a priority box, you can use priority. You can change it in your shipping settings. If it fits in a flat rate box, you can change that on the back end to go into a flat rate. I would start with Whatnot shipping and their bundling. Don't try custom anything at first. Do a show or two, understand how the shipping works, then you can start playing around with custom shipping and different sizes. That's just my advice. Let's see. I Love Discounts. Jeremy's head on a big screen. That may be a little. I missed this conversation. I do not know what's going on, but it sounds funny. Oh, on our screen. Yes, we have. So we're a little bougie in some sense. Our master bedroom. We're going to talk about we're going to get super intimate, y'all. We're going to talk about our master bedroom.
So I got tired. I moved way too much because of work. And instead of packaging a huge TV screen, I just bought a projector. It's a lot compact. It can travel easy. And then all you do is just get a good white wall and project. So we have a projector in our
master bedroom. So we have a projector. But of course, the bougie side of me, because I love like home decorating and I do a lot of building. Like I do a lot of built-ins. I've been redecorating my house room by room. Anyway, so in our bedroom, I built a faux beam, and underneath the beam, we have a screen. So I will lay there, the remote control, our screen comes down, and there's Jeremy on our big screen. Anyways, enough of my master bedroom. That's not what you guys came to hear about. What's the average, out and about vintage, what is the average cost of a 5-pound item if you pay for shipping? $9.21. So up 0 to 0, like the 0 to 1 category, up to the 1 pound is less money. Once you hit 1 pound, it becomes $9.21. 1 pound to 5 pounds is $9.21. Anything over 5 pounds incrementally then starts to increase, unless it's flat rate. Flat rate is $9.21 for up to 70 pounds. But flat rate boxes are a little bit smaller than your normal priority. So you have to take that into consideration if it's going to fit. For me, selling vintage, I use flat rate as my least shipping method, just because a lot of my stuff won't fit in those boxes. But flat rate works great for minis and for clothing. And there's a lot of other categories and things that sell that fit really good in flat rate boxes. Health and beauty. As a buyer, free shipping shows are going to get me in a lot of trouble. Yes, me too. I am a buyer and a seller, and yes, I am right there with you. I did want to talk about something else on free shipping, and it's the free shipping with the dollar in combination with the dollar starts. Real quick, I'm going to answer this question. So if I have a $10 item and I'm selling it, I am making nothing if I'm paying for the shipping, correct? Plus, I'd have to pay for the buffer, absolutely 100%. However, you can't look at it on a per item basis. You just can't. Last night, I did a show. I sold a vase for $100, and I also sold something else for $6. It was free shipping on both. You've got to look at it as a show. You've got to look at your numbers in total. Now, knowing that, you can't sell everything you're selling in your show for less than $9 because obviously you're going to lose money. So you do need to be smart on the front end on how you are pricing your items and having a mix. I'm okay with putting some items in that are less than the $9 that I know I'm going to pay in shipping if I have some other items that it's going to even out. Additionally, if somebody who buys a $100 item then also buys my $6 item and they fit in the same box, I'm only paying one shipping. You don't know the mix. You don't know what buyers are going to buy what items and how many together. And that can get a little bit, like mind-blowing. I tend to overthink things. My approach is to have a little bit of a mix for a couple of reasons. One, like we just talked about, but I also want various price points for my buyers. Some of my buyers can come in and drop $100 and think nothing of it. Other buyers are like, you know what, my limit today is $10. That's all I can spend. So I try to appeal to as many as I can in a show. How do you set it up so bundles up to 5 pounds? I have set at 1 pound and had to spend so much in shipping. Don't try to set up anything. Don't do custom shipping. Whatnot will automatically bundle it to 5 pounds. They will use the weight. When you input your item in your inventory, whatever weight you put for that item, that's what Whatnot uses to bundle. And I have yet to figure it out. Sometimes Whatnot will bundle well over 5 pounds into one box. And then you just unbundle if you need to. For the surprise sets, I don't know what you're asking, but if you want to try to rephrase that and maybe I can understand what the question is. Whatnot bundled 4 Pyrex bowls in a 12 by 12 that weighed 10 pounds. Yeah, I mean, Whatnot it'll keep bundling. But now, you think that like Whatnot's not charging that shipping, but if you're just, say you have it's just regular shipping, buyer pays all shipping, that's what your setting is. Whatnot will continue to charge that buyer appropriately. So maybe once they hit 1 pound, it's $9.21, and then they'll get free until they hit 5. Then their next item that when it comes up on the screen, Whatnot will charge them. So when you go to unbundle, your cost is going to be a lot less. It's not going to be that full $9.21 because your buyer has been paying the incremental amounts on that shipping. So it's different from an auction to a surprise set. I'm trying to figure out the shipping so that bundles up to 5 pounds. I have never done a surprise set, so this question is probably out of my expertise. But if there's anybody in the chat, we have 44 of you in here who know an answer, please chime in. Because I know we have a lot of knowledge among the 45 people that are in here. So if you guys can help out WAM-B, please do. Please put it in the chat because it's not something that I feel that I know about. I have never done surprise sets, and I don't want to give you misinformation. Natural state of hide. Givey's, free shipping, dollar starts, all marketing tactics, in your opinion, and different sellers like different options and have different. 100% true. 100%. It continues. Some have zero marketing budget if their margins aren't enough. For me, I wouldn't go into business without a marketing budget. Right there. That is 100% smart advice. If you are going to go into this business, you need to have some marketing budget. But now let me tell you, because this was a note that I put down that I really wanted to talk about today. Marketing doesn't have to cost a fortune. There are free ways or very inexpensive ways that you can market yourself. So if you're a new seller and you don't have a lot of money to be spending on promotions or whatever it may be, there's still other ways. Number one, I got 2 boxes this week from sellers, and I'm not going to say who they are. The packages are great. The items are wonderful. I have no complaint about the sellers. What I am going to bring up is both boxes, 2 different sellers. Nice box. The label on the box did not say their Whatnot name. And I'm talking the shipping label, the return address. It said their personal name. Unless you're very few people that I really have gotten to know and be friends with, I don't know your personal name. I had no clue who that item was from. I'm like, okay, let me open it up. I open up the box. There's no packing list. There's no little note. There's nothing. There is no way for me to know who that item was from unless I rely on my memory, which is not that great, or I go digging back in my Whatnot. That is a free way for you to market yourself right there. You're already printing a shipping label. At a minimum, Put your username for your return address instead of your personal name. Change it to your username, your Whatnot username. At least then you have that on the outside of the box. Very, very, I mean, it's free. You're already paying that expense. So it's a sunk cost. It's free. That's a way to market yourself. Putting a little sticker. Do you have a thermal printer? Do you have a regular printer? I would say thermal printer is better. Hope that should be your first purchase as you start to get selling. Print your own stickers with your name on it. That's what I do. Every single box that leaves my door has a Zoe's Treasure sticker on the outside of it. Every single box and envelope. And if I forget, it's probably because I'm having my daughter start to learn how to do shipping, and it's probably her that forgot. Every single box, and it's cheap. I already have the thermal printer. I buy some labels for like $5 on Amazon, and now I have marketing. There's ways to market yourself. Go into chat rooms, talk to people, become friends with people. Southern Charm said earlier, as a buyer, she was buying. When you buy, what does the sellers usually do? Thank you, Southern Charm, for your purchase. Congratulations, Southern Charm, for your purchase. Whatever it is, they're saying your name. That's all marketing. So if you don't have a lot of money, there are still ways to do it. Now, if you do have money, you can do even more. I do postcards. I do business cards like in my boxes. So there's a lot of other things you can do. And I'm getting on a rant. So let me get caught up on questions. I'm sorry. So Natural State of High says doing giveaways. She does 3 giveaways a show, cost her about $1.70, and the crowd enjoys them. Again, if you want to do giveaways and you're doing plain white envelope, that's only 73 cents a giveaway for the shipping cost. And if you're giving away something that you can make or that you can buy really cheap or buy in a bundle so it's only pennies on the dollar. Lake Erie Vintage, I didn't realize you can do that. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but hopefully it was something great. And Southern Charm, the shipping labels. I finally did that with my shipping labels. Y'all, I just did this, like, I don't know, a couple of months ago. But at first I had my personal name, and then I realized, you can change it. Easy. I don't understand the stinginess of not providing a thermal printer. Okay. Heart-centered soul. I don't want to just out and out disagree with you, but I am going to disagree a bit. Some people are on a strict budget. And some people think that they're not necessary. As a seller, there is no right or wrong. Whatnot does not make you put a packing list in the box. There's no rule on Whatnot that says you have to put a packing list. I look at it more from a marketing perspective, and also I'm very big on the buying experience and the customer experience. My job as a seller is to make your experience the best it can be, and that means from before the show, during the show, and after the show. If I am doing random polls, that packing list is going to say random poll number 1, random poll number 2, whatever numbers you bought, right? It's going to be meaningless. But then if I number my items, you can easily see that I'm supposed to have 6 items here. Here's all the 6 numbers here on my items, and it matches up. Me, I'm doing it for my buyer. On the other side of it, some sellers, they're on such a strict budget that an extra 4 labels is a make or break to them. Is it the best way to run business? No, but it's the reality that's the way some people start out, and that's okay. That's the situation they're in. And you know what? They are doing everything they can to grow their business. So congratulations to them. I don't see it as stinginess. My personal preference is I think they should be in there because it's a great marketing tool. You can write a thank you on there. I've received so many boxes with the packing list, and somebody wrote a little handwritten thank you. That means a lot to me. All right, let's see. I'm missing stuff here. I'm not really reading the stuff you guys are talking to each other, trying to see if it's directed at me. I love that I can print my packing sheet on plain paper now. See, there you go. You can put it on plain paper. All right. Let me go ahead really quick. I said that I was going to hold off sponsored giveaways. They are not, do not feel obligated to buy them. But I am going to put them in there in case anybody wants them. It's just going to take me a second to find my inventory here. Because we do like to put them up there. I just got to add them to the show. I purposely did not add them because I wanted to hold off for a while. All right, so there's some sponsored giveaways in there if you guys are interested, or they should be popping up pretty soon. They are in the Buy It Now somewhere. Maybe. I don't know. Hold on. We'll see. All right, there we go. If you're interested, no obligations. Let me talk about these for a second. So, sponsored giveaways. I had a really good question come in on sponsored giveaways. And I wanted to, and it was a great question. It didn't bother me at all. I was so glad that this person reached out to me. But I wanted to explain them a bit in the show here. Sponsored giveaways are up to each individual seller if you want to do them or not in chat shows. Some chat shows, some sellers are like, no, not my thing, not today, not never, whatever. Other ones are like, yeah, we're going to do it. You will also see them at different price points. Again, it is a seller's choice on what they are comfortable and what they want to do. There's no right or wrong. The ones that we do, the question specifically I got was, hey, you're giving away a $5 gift card, but this cost me $10. So if you are new to Whatnot, everything we sell, there are fees on it. So if you take $10, you minus $5 for the gift card, that leaves $5. I have to pay shipping, Whatnot fees, the credit card fees on there. At the end of the day, after you pay for the envelopes to ship the stuff in, there's nothing left. So most often is not a money-making ploy. It's just something that people do for the community. Let's see. So we had a question. You can change the printing so it prints 2 pages on one and you're not wasting labels. There you go. I did not know that. So now, thank you, Southern Charm. We have all learned you can do 2 on 1 if you're trying to save a little bit of money. Also, if you buy labels in bulk, it's a little bit cheaper. I will buy big cases at a time from Amazon. And I just find it's cheaper to buy that way. It's no different than the concept of buying bulk cereal at Sam's Club for your family. Buying in bulk it saves you money in the long run. How do you get your logo to pop up? How awesome. Thank you so much. That is my husband. I'll do another plug for him.
Thank you.
If you want to learn how to do graphics, he is doing a limited graphics show. If you go to our website, www.zoestreasures.com, there is a sign up on the website under the event tab along the top. Always do packing lists. I know some things take any time, but I promise more people care about that than don't. Yep. I would always recommend a packing list. Up to you guys, though. I think they're useful. And it's another way to market. You could put a sticker on there. You could write a note. Like I said, it's another marketing tool. Let's see. Amateur question. Can I print in color on a thermal printer? I keep hearing about printing stickers. I don't think so. I'm not a thermal printer expert. I own 2 of them, and neither one of them print in color. My husband's over there shaking his head like, nope, it doesn't go in color. I'm going to say no. But if I am wrong and somebody in the chat knows that you can, please put that in there so that we can all learn today. So Natural State of High has a different opinion here, and that's okay. This is what makes Whatnot great, you guys. We don't all have to think alike. We don't all have to sell alike. You get to run your show the way you want to run your show. And if you're, I don't want to say smart doing business, but if you're really trying to grow your business as a good business person, one of the things you'll probably do is observe other people and what works well and what doesn't, and figure out how to apply those concepts to your own business. So Natural State of High says, different strokes are for different folks. I hate packing slips, and I only include it for brand new buyers with multiple purchases. And it's okay. I personally don't like receiving it. I only use it to write a note for new buyers with multiple buys in one show. It feels wasteful. See, and that's totally like, it could absolutely, I can totally get how it would feel wasteful. We have another, I don't like receiving them. So it's just, you know what the packing list, no packing list is the same type of concept of listing your items or doing random pulls. It's going to be what works for one may not work for the other. And as a business owner, as a responsible business person, I'm going to figure out what works for me and what I feel works the best for my customers. Is there a one-size solution for every single one of my customers? No. Am I going to piss one of them off unintentionally? Probably so. It's probably going to happen. That's life. And I don't say it flippantly. It's just you can't please everybody all the time, right? Because here we have on the other side, I like receiving them because I save them as a receipt. So Do what works for you. You're always going to hear me. Yes. I do talk a lot about at the end of the year, I do accounting and tax shows. I do like the receipt purpose. That does help. You can print stuff from Whatnot. The problem I have with Whatnot is their ledger system is kind of like outdated. As a CPA, I find it not the best in the world and a little bit cumbersome. I personally don't like them, but I always include them because I'd rather have it versus go against me and I lose someone because I didn't. I used to keep it as a receipt, but it doesn't show the shipping I paid. So I have, see, there you go. You have to go back to Whatnot anyways and print some type of a report from Whatnot. Their ledgers are horrible. Yes, they are, Southern Charm. And like I said, if you want to go and try to figure out, like I was talking about free shipping earlier and looking at your past shows, it's not just in one place. You got to go to your shipping screen, then you got to go to your customer, like your order screen. You got to do some math there. Registration for the graphics show is booked. We will do another one. So actually, my husband says, message him. He's right there. Zoe's T Mod is my husband. Send him a message if it's booked up. We are going to keep it at 10, but he says message him, and he's always happy to help people out. All right, I've been talking a lot. Any other questions? Put some questions in there, you guys. I had some, I know what I wanted to talk about on free shipping that I didn't talk about. Free shipping and dollar starts. Oh, thank you. Free shipping and dollar starts. There are some brave people out there, like I Love Discounts, that does free shipping and dollar starts. I'm not there yet for vintage decor. Now, I tried 2 months of dollar start only shows. I did a whole, you call it experiment, whatever you want, but I did 2 months of dollar starts and I kept a lot of the data so I can analyze it to see if that was a business model that I wanted to continue with. Overall, I love the concept of dollar starts. The biggest factor that made me stop.
Good morning, B squared. Thank you for popping in.
Little Market, congratulations. Thank you so much for changing that. The main reason I stopped dollar starts, I could not keep up with the inventory. The turnover was so fast. I was not able to source enough to keep bringing enough inventory to do my shows. I work a 9-to-5 job. I have a family. I couldn't put the hours into sourcing. If I could have put the hours into sourcing, I probably would have continued dollar starts. I was just blowing through all my inventory so fast, which is a good thing. It was a good problem to have, but it wasn't a problem that I was in a position currently to fix. So I had to back off of dollar starts. Dollar starts and sudden death is a killer for sales if you have hot inventory and a lot of it. A killer killer in a good sense. I'm hoping you're saying like awesome killer. Yes. It's almost my issue with dollar starts is that nothing gets up if then I lose money. You may lose money on dollar starts. I lost money on some of my dollar start stuff. Did I have things that sold for $1? Absolutely. Absolutely had stuff that sold for $1. But you can't look at it as each individual item. You have to go like above that mindset of each individual item. So unless you are like Eye for Beauty that sells high-end glass, I mean, I saw him sell a $550 paperweight the other day, blew me away. So unless you're like that type of seller that is selling very rare high-end products, you kind of got to get out of the mindset of each individual item and look at it as a whole. You look at it in total as a show or as a month or a week, whatever it may be. You can't, if you're doing dollar starts, you can't get caught up on that $1 item. But yes, you may lose money. There's also, it brings more people into your room. It takes the mental fatigue of pricing. To me, that was one of the biggest benefits. I hate trying to figure out pricing. I spend too much time and thought on it that I don't want to spend. Starting everything at $1 is easy. Just boom, it's $1. I found that there was a tipping point where it built up and built up and built up, and then finally it leveled out where people were bidding my stuff up. At the very beginning, the first few shows, most of my stuff sold for $1. And after every show, I would look at my husband and be like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. But then it got to a point where every show was a sold out show practically, and things were getting bid up because of dollar starts. Oh, thank you. Kiss my glass. Let's talk about you real quick. I have been on Whatnot since January of 2024. Multiple short shows or fewer longer shows. As soon as my husband's ready, we're going to talk about Kiss My Glass here. And I'm going to get that giveaway up and going. Oops. Maybe just give me a second. I got to take out my. All right. We have some coffee, $5 gift card in honor of Kiss My Glass. So check this out. Here is Kiss My Glass's website, Glass Addict. I have a variety of glass. Can you click show more so that I can see the rest of this one? Come in and chill with me or stop by and check me out. Saturdays and Sundays at 1 o'clock Central. I love it. I love the consistency. I love that you automatically are telling people when they can find you. Y'all, if you're reading this, that is such a great tool right there. And gorgeous. Oh, look at the green Fenton. Oh, or is that? Oh, that's so pretty. There is some nice stuff there. Let's go and check out the next show, which we know is going to be on at 1 o'clock. There looks like there's a raid train. I can't read it, the bottom, because it's covered for me. So, yep, it's a raid train. But if it's not a raid train, it's a consistent time over and over again. Now, the time's going to look different on my side because of we're in a different time zone. But y'all, Kiss My Glass is sponsoring your coffee, so go ahead and jump into that coffee. And I'm going to answer a couple more questions while that giveaway is running. And look at that. Hold on. Oh, well, that's okay. 1.9K sold. Let's talk about numbers really quick. This brings people comfort, right? When we look at this, that's why Whatnot puts it there, because it's comforting as a buyer. When we look at a rating, we look at reviews, and we look at numbers sold. So if you are just starting out, reviews are highly important. Not that followers is not in that number, right? What followers don't matter. What's in that number is your rating, your reviews, how many things you sold. Those are important numbers. Those are numbers that bring people comfort. Multiple short shows are fewer longer shows. What works for you? Christy Critter, do shows when you can be on and be consistent and be at your best. And if you can only be at your best for an hour once a week or an hour 3 times a week, then that's what I would suggest. If you can be at your best for 5 hours on a Saturday afternoon, then do 5 hours on a Saturday afternoon consistently. I don't think the short or the long matters. People will disagree with me. People will say, nope, it picks up after 2 hours. That's when the algorithm kicks in. That's when you get people in your room. That's great. But if I'm drained and I can't give my best after 2 hours, it's not going to do me any good. Do longer or shorter shows based on your own energy level, your inventory, and what you can realistically ship. It would be awesome if you do a 5-hour show on a Saturday and sell 500 items. Can you ship 500 items of whatever product you sell within 2 days? If you can't, you've just, you have more bad now than you have good because now you're doing late shipping. So kind of consider that when you're thinking about shorter or longer shows. Y'all, we have 2 minutes left. Kiss My Glass is buying y'all a cup of coffee. Do you have YouTube videos on setting up rewards program? I do not, the Vintage Daisy Shop, but that is a good idea. So I am writing it down. I do have a YouTube channel out there with some miscellaneous stuff, mainly my shows. So if you ever want to watch a chat show back, it does come in handy when I do the tax and accounting chat shows, because I will, at the end of the year, actually walk through various tax forms and explain line by line by line. So having those shows up on YouTube comes in handy. Thank you, Natural State of High, for sharing. I have had 3 shows and they're all done pretty well, but do you have any tips on getting more people into the room? This is like the Whatnot question. Like, that is the Whatnot question. 1 minute left on that coffee from Kiss My Glass, you guys. Consistency, meeting people, being active. You know what I have seen aside from the free shipping that has driven people into my room is I call my husband my ambassador. He is my Whatnot ambassador. He is in rooms. If you don't see me, you're going to be see Zoe's Team Mod in a lot of shows. He's chatting, he's talking, he's meeting people. That in itself is priceless and will draw people to your room. You want your name to be out there. You want people to see Ivy Hollow Vintage so many times that when they're scrolling their phone, they're like, oh yeah, Ivy Hollow Vintage, like you're their best friend. That's what you want them to see. When they see your name, you want them to have that warm and fuzzy feeling inside. And the only way they're going to get that is good customer service from you and continual repeat of seeing your name. It's like when you see any logo, right? Any logo that from your childhood, Kentucky Fried Chicken, McDonald's, maybe it doesn't give you a warm and fuzzy, but you automatically know what you're going to get, right? And it's either associated with a good feeling or a bad feeling. That's what we want to create as resellers with our names. And that's our brand. Who is getting some cup of coffee from Kiss My Glass? Peg Mom. Peg Mom's getting some coffee from Kiss My Glass. Congratulations. We are going to go do the next one here as soon as my husband's ready. Next up is Tina City Ridge. Let me write that down so I can make sure I'm pronouncing it right. Tina City Ridge is buying a cup of coffee for everybody. Let me go ahead and get that giveaway going. And it's here. Let me spell it for you. Hold on, you guys. I got to spell this so he can bring it up because he doesn't see what I see. T-E-N-A, City, C-I-T-Y, Ridge, R-I-D-G-E. All right, Tina City Ridge. We are doing a giveaway right now, another $5 gift card in honor of Tina City Ridge. Let's take a look at who this person is. You are new to me. And look at, you have been around a while. You have been around a little bit because you have been building up your followers probably before you started selling. This is what Southern Charm was talking about. Welcome to it's Tenacity. It's not Tina. It's Tenacity Ridge. I'm so sorry about that. My mind is trying to break it down into little chunks that I can understand. Tenacity Ridge, trading post. I am a new seller here on Whatnot. I'm also a wife, mom of 2, and Lala to the sweetest granddaughter. Currently, my shows will be selling hand-painted window clings made by my amazing mother. She is almost 80 years old and has been doing crafts. Aww. This is my attempt to help her so she doesn't have to travel as much. Please follow and bookmark my shows. That is so sweet. And remember, kindness is free. Best piece of advice you can ever give right there. Let's see when you are a newer seller. Let's go back up. I want to see those numbers at the top real quick. You are a newer seller, 27 items sold. Congratulations and welcome to Whatnot as a seller. And if we go down, let's take a look. You've got the window clings, some stickers. Look at, those are so pretty. Oh, I like the mushroom. I may need to go back and get a mushroom here. All right, when are your shows? When's your next show? Today at 10:30, 6:30 at 10:30. When's 6:30? I don't even know what today is. So I like that we have some consistent. Today's the 27th. Yes. So today at 10:30, 6:30 at 10:30. Y'all check these shows out. These are really cool. And your shipping is probably reasonable. So that because of the type of product it is. So that's pretty cool. All right. Tenacity Ridge. I'm going to say it right this time. Tenacity Ridge is buying you guys coffee. Let's see. Ivy Hollow, getting people in the room. So we talked about that. I'm going to shout out. No, you have no time for. Oh, what is Natural State of High saying? You always have good stuff to say. I'm going to shout him, and therefore you out every time. Very smart for him to name. Oh, you're talking to somebody above. Awesome. Let's see. Cynthia, I stopped a tea party show and raided because I knew I was looking at 2 days of packing teapots and other fragiles. Absolutely. You know what? It's okay, you guys. If you're selling so much and you look over at this pile of stuff you've sold and you're like, oh shit, how am I going to ship that? If you are a one-man show, I mean, I have my husband, but I do the majority of the shipping. I'm trying to teach my teenager how to do it. I'm a control freak, so that's not going well. And there's so much stuff to ship and it's just you, it's okay to stop the show. Because right now, if you stop the show and you can, hey y'all, we've had a great show today. You know, I've got so much to ship. I want to make sure that I'm getting it to you. We're going to stop the show, but we will be back in 2 days or we'll be back when, it's okay to stop the show to go and ship because right now you have happy customers at the moment. You want to keep them happy. The only way to keep them happy is to make sure that you're shipping their products safely, the best you can, and getting them out on time. So it's a total smart move. Another thing, if you need to stop a show because it is not your day, you are not on your A game, that's okay too. Everybody, there's a minute left on that giveaway. Tenacity Ridge is buying you coffee. So go ahead and hop in that giveaway for a $5 Starbucks gift card. if you're not on your A game, if you were just having a bad day, you got a headache, it's just something bad happened in your personal life, it's okay to stop a show, because if you're not in it, your buyers are going to feel that energy and they're not going to buy. It's okay. I just want to say it's okay. Because if you're anything like me, I get caught up in this. I've scheduled a show. I've got to do the show. People are relying on me. I've got to do a show. The world will not end if you reschedule your show. Now, don't do it all the time. Obviously, we want consistency and to be present as much as possible, but it's not, the world's not going to end. It's just not. It's okay. Let me do a perfect example of this. The other day, I was in I Love Discounts chat show. It was on Tuesday night. Was it last night? Tuesday night. I think it was Tuesday night. They were doing a chat show. They normally do a selling show, but you know what? They're like, my warehouse is burning up hot. It's 110 degrees outside. We're gonna be in the AC and we're gonna do a chat show tonight instead of a selling show. That's what they needed. That's what their bodies, their energy, everything else was telling them that they needed. And it was perfectly okay. And you know what? It was a great chat show. It was entertaining. It was fun. It was enjoyable to hang out in. You do what you need to do. All right, 10 seconds left. Christy Critter. Okay, I'm going to answer Christy Critter's question here, but I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the chat on this topic. But before I answer, we're going to pull this giveaway and we're going to see who's next for sponsored. Curly Q15, Tenacity Ridge, just bought you a cup of coffee.
Congratulations.
All right, I'm going to start another giveaway. It is up and going, and let's see who this one is from. This one is from Another Look. Give me a second, and my husband will bring that up. Another Look. So Another Look is sponsoring this coffee. $5 ANOTHER. Got it? Okay. Another Look. Miss Laura from Another Look. I'm a newer seller, but you say newer. You have 1K, so that's pretty good. Yeah, once you hit that 1K, you move from newer to, like, you know, somewhat experienced there. That's a big milestone. Newer seller. I've been a couple of months, since 4/19. I have 2 boys that are heading to college shortly. One is staying in Wisconsin and one is heading to Iowa. I'm married to an amazing retired Army veteran. Thank you so much for his service. I am married to a Coast Guard veteran, who I'm proud to call my husband. I will apologize if you hear my little guy barking during lives. Please message me with any request. I want all customers to get amazing deals and have a great shopping experience. Wonderful. And let's see, what are you selling? Clothing, purses. Oh, I like that one. Y'all, look at this. I love that we have such a variety of sellers.
Tony, there's another Hello Kitty.
I Love Discounts. If you are in here, Tony, y'all, there was this whole thing. If you missed it, Tony, one half of I Love Discounts, literally like slipped and bought. Y'all hear that? Oh, I accidentally purchased. He like legit accidentally purchased a Hello Kitty bag, and everybody has been giving him the hardest time about it. They did just sell it though. I think on their last 1 or 2 shows they sold the bag. But this is awesome. You guys have some great stuff. We have some shows. 1K Sale Celebration show. Oh, it's Stanley Buyers giveaway tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Y'all, you could tell it's my husband's computer. He has military time and I don't do it. I'm trying to do the math in my head real quick for times. At 1 p.m., I know. Makeup and skincare. Oh, so you do clothing and makeup and skincare? This is awesome. Y'all, check out Another Look here. Thank you. You're covering up the name. I need to write them down because I don't always remember off the top of my head when I'm talking. All right. Y'all, if you want to, check out Another Look if you like what you saw. And you got 2 minutes on the coffee. All right, we had a good question in here. And who was it? I think I've lost the question. But the question was, how do you guys balance like working full-time and doing Whatnot? I'm not sure who asked that question because Whatnot like just deleted half of my questions. So if I have not answered your question, please put it back in there. I do want to answer them and get to them. But I did see the one, how do you balance working full-time and Whatnot? Like anything else, you invest the time into what matters to you. And it's as simple as that. And I don't know any other way to say it. And it sounds brass that I'm saying it that way. But you, as a human being, natural behavior will invest time into things that matter. Think about it as working out. If you have a goal and you want to run a marathon or you want to get in shape, and that's highly important to you, and your heart and soul is into it, you're going to make sure you have that time every day to work out. The same thing for Whatnot. If this is a business that you're serious about and you really want to grow, you will invest the time dependent upon your level of like desire and commitment to that. How to balance it? I mean, I wish I could tell you, but I have like dirty toilets upstairs and rugs that need to be vacuumed and clothes that probably need to be folded at the moment. I work full time. I do work from home, so I realize and I acknowledge that makes it a little bit easier for me. But it's scheduling your day. We're up at 5:30 in the morning. I put an hour or two in Whatnot time in the morning. I do my full-time job. And then after that, it's usually Whatnot. If I'm driving my daughter somewhere to sports, she's involved in quite a lot of activities. I drop her off at her sport and I go sourcing. And then I pick her back up. It's finding those moments that you can. If I'm not sourcing for some reason, the store's closed, whatever, I'm on my phone trying to, be active in chats or looking through auctions. It's really looking at your day. I'm going to be honest with you. Me as a full-time employee for somebody else working for a large national corporation and doing Whatnot, trying to grow my Whatnot business, this is my retirement plan. This is what I want to do when I retire, like full-time. I don't have much of a life outside of this. We don't do a lot outside of Whatnot. This is our life. It has taken over. Another look. Jill's bought ilovediscounts.com a coffee. Y'all, another look. Some amazing clothing, makeup and skincare. Check them out if you like what they sell. Christmas present. Yay, yes. All right, I'm going to start the next one, and then we'll go and see the next questions. All right, so the next giveaway is going, and I haven't even looked to see who that is from yet, so let me look, and I will tell you who that is from. B Squared Trading Post. B Squared Trading Post. Let's pull you up on screen and take a look at you. B Squared Trading Post. 13,000 sold. Oh my goodness. Home of the Buzz Chat podcast every Thursday at 5:30. Can you bookmark those? You know what? I don't think I've ever been in one of your podcasts.
Their podcast is really good.
I wish I had been in one of your podcasts so I can talk about it more, but I am now. My husband has, so he says you're great. Please contact, follow. So they have all the socials. You can go to see their Insta, TikTok, YouTube, B Squared Buzz Chat. So their username here on Whatnot is B Squared Trading Post, but they have another name if you're looking on YouTube, so check that out. Please contact us with any issues before leaving a review. Oh my gosh, yes, please. I'm so glad you wrote that in your bio. We love to make it right. Follow and bookmark for deals and fun. It's Bill and Nita. So I am guessing Bill and Nita is another husband and wife team, which makes me happy because that's what we are, and there's quite a few of us out here. Let's scroll down a little bit. Keychain backpack. Oh, the horror keychain backpack. And there you are. I'm assuming this is a picture of you. B Squared Trading Post logo sticker. Those are so cool. That's Bill. Okay. Since I have not, you are new to me, I am making a new friend. That is Bill, my husband, saying that's Bill. And some really cool like keychain. I got to come back to you because these are the things that my daughter loves. My daughter loves putting these on her backpack. So I now have like gifts that I can go and buy for her. When is your next show? Today. Oh, it's a raid train at 2:00. And then is that a vinyl show? Scroll down a little bit because it's blocking I can't see it. Vinyl too. So you got selling some vinyl. You got a raid train. Orlando. Are you in Florida? I'm guessing maybe. I don't know. Primetime Spotlight, 6:29 at 5:40, 7:20. All kinds of cool shows. Y'all check them out. And that podcast really interests me. Yes, you're in Florida. Awesome. I used to live in Jacksonville for like 20 something years. So Florida's a little bit close to my heart. And there is the next podcast right there on 7/3. So with Limitless, there you go. I am going to be there because I want to check this podcast out. All right. So B Squared Trading Post is buying you a cup of coffee. You got about 2 minutes left to enter that coffee giveaway. Let's see. We have another question. Tabitha's Closet says, hello, I'm a new seller. I sell a bit of everything. I only had one show. It was a flop. I will keep trying. The shipping is so confusing to me. Tabitha, if I can just give you the one thing I would say is just keep at it. Don't give up. My first show was the biggest disaster mess ever. I am so glad there's no record of it because it was a just embarrassingly terrible, terrible show. And I think we all have them. I mean, some sellers are just fantastic out of the gate, wonderful, but there's a lot of us that were just like, that first show, it just needs to be buried, right? Try again. It gets better. It took me probably 6 or 7 months before I even was having like regular 5 or 6 people in my shows. You just got to keep at it. You got to keep at it. If you're serious about this and this is what you want, it takes time. And I don't know what other advice to give, but to keep at it. I was ready to quit so many times. My first show was so bad that I had somebody buy something in my first show and I didn't even know they bought something. That's how clueless and bad it was in my first show. Shipping, I'm going to refer you over to the Hodgepodge Place. Her YouTube, she has an hour-long YouTube video solely on shipping, and it is a really good educational video. So check that out, the Hodgepodge Place video. And I Love Discounts says that B Squared Trading Post podcast is amazing. B Squared Trading Post is about to buy you a cup of coffee. Y'all check out this podcast. You're 61 of you in here who like talk shows. Check out their talk show. We have some smart people on Whatnot, and I know I love to go and check them out. So who are they going to buy coffee for? Tenacity Ridge. Look, I got it right this time. Tenacity Ridge.
Congratulations.
You just got a cup of coffee from B Squared Trading Post. Congratulations, and thank you for being in the show. All right. We're going to start the next one here. Let's see who else is up here. Y'all keep your questions coming. So we have another gift card giveaway. Let's see who that is from. It takes me a second to do the whole scrolly thing. Redneck Pickin'. Let me write you. Hold on, I got to flip this over. We're going to. Redneck Pickin'. Look at my husband's way ahead of me. 5-star rating. 457. Working on your way. You are almost halfway to 1,000. Congratulations. Redneck Pickin' owns a brick and mortar store known as Redneck Trading Post in Lincoln, Arkansas. Been in business for 9 years, so they know a little bit something about customer service here, right? We sell a wide variety of picked items, and you just never know what we will come across in our pickin'. Collectibles, vintage, antiques, and die-cast coins. They have it all. They've got a cool variety. Please follow us on Instagram and TikTok, and we will follow back. Well, hello, my husband's walking around me. Please contact us before leaving a bad review. Again, look at the second person today who wrote that in there. We should probably talk about this. There is nothing worse than getting a bad review and not knowing why. So I love that you put that in there. Let's see if my husband can scroll down for me a little bit here. Oh, look at this. Definite variety, monogram Marvel, action figure, Black Panther, all kinds of cool stuff. So this is the kind of seller you never know what you're going to get. I mean, and I love it. I love the surprise. I love the variety. There's a silver bar in there. Oh, wow. That's cool. Totally awesome. What kind of shows do we have coming up? 7/3 at 11:30. 7/3 at 11:30. Live pop-up. 7/10, 7/10, very consistent shows here. It looks like about once a week there's a consistent show. Awesome. And I love that you have a logo that you continue to use. That is so important in branding. And it's like one of my big things I'm always talking about. So I love seeing that. So y'all, if you are interested in a variety, you may not know what you're going to get, and probably some really cool, unique items, go check out Redneck Picker. All right, let's see if there's let's see if there's some questions here. We had about 2.5 minutes. Oh, look at Tenacity Rich. I dropped my string 10 times in 2 hours in my first show. So yeah, look, we've all had a bad first show. It's okay. Thank you for tagging the Hodgepodge place. Yeah, if anybody asks me about shipping, I'll answer some basic questions, but anything in depth, I just refer to her video. She took the time to make an almost hour-long video. You can stop and pause it. You can go back to the spots you need to watch, and it's really informative. Like, everybody else doesn't need to repeat it. She has done it, and it's great. Like, why should I do a video? Because it's there. Oh, he walked behind me when the screen was covered. You got to come say hello, honey. He's working on it. He'll come over there in a minute. Okay, let's talk about this, because we have another look that says, oh, yes, I got my first bad review on a giveaway, and they said it shows delivered, but I didn't receive it. So we've had 2 of our sponsored giveaways already today. In their bios, they have said, if you have a problem, before you leave a bad review, just reach out to me. This is a buyers and sellers show, so I try to talk about things that apply to both sides of the coin here. If you're a buyer and something comes broken, not what you expected, whatever the reason may be, there's a stain on it, you didn't think there was a stain, there's a hole, whatever, there's a chip, reach out to the seller. I can guarantee, I would bet you a year's of my salary that 9 out of 10 sellers on this app want to provide good customer service. They want a chance to fix this and make it right for you. Now, we are on a platform where not all of us have the ability to make it right. Their answer to you may be, I am so sorry that happened. Please go to Whatnot so that a refund can be processed for you. That may be the answer. But it gives them the chance to know, one, something maybe it broke. As a seller, if I get a message that something broke, I think back, well, how did I pack that? Did I do something different? Am I using different supplies? I can't fix or improve myself if I don't know what the bad feedback is. If I don't know what's happening that's not good. If everybody just tells me everything's good all the time, now I'm not encouraging you to leave me bad feedback, but I'm saying, if everybody just tells you the good stuff, you're just going to keep on your jolly old way like nobody's business, right? We improve, we grow, we get better because of the things that go wrong. That's how we learn, that's how we grow. Give us that chance. All right, I've got something else to say about that, but my husband wants to say hello. Hold on real quick. We got our giveaway winner. Redneck Picker is buying Sir Potato. What a cute name. Sir Potato, you are getting some coffee in honor of Redneck Picker. Congratulations. All right, go ahead and say hello, then we'll go to our next one.
As you can see, I'm behind the cameras. I'm the wizard behind the curtain. So good morning to all. If you have any questions about the graphics, about this wild setup, just send me a message. I'll do my best to answer your questions. And this is B Squared Trading Post. This is the way we do the podcast for the split screen. I don't like the chat being covering the other person's screen. So I designed this and came up with this. Hopefully Whatnot is listening. All right, guys, I'll give you back to her.
All right, thanks. I've got a couple more thoughts on the feedback process and the reviews, but let's start our next giveaway because we got to keep that going. I do have to get to my 9 to 5 Sunday. That's why I do limit the sponsors to 10 just to make sure that we can get to them in an appropriate manner. So we have another giveaway going, and this one is from scrolling. That's what we do. We scroll. Daisy Lane, Miss Daisy Lane. And I know you know that one. All right, let's bring up Daisy Lane. Daisy Lane, he's coming. I'm not gonna talk a whole lot until he brings it up here. I just love Daisy Lane. I've been going into her shows a lot lately. Is it coming?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. So Daisy Lane sells vintage decor, collectibles, tiny treasures, toys, dolls and bears, jewelry, ephemera, books, and click on that show more button for me, honey, please, so that I can read the rest of this note here. Books and more. Longtime collector and rehomer, mother of 1, grandmother of 5, and 4 great-grandbabies, and another one on the way. Started my selling career at age 12 collecting junk and stuff shortly after. I love anything and anyone with a good story. I'm Cher, but feel free to call me Daisy. I'm going to call you Daisy just because I want to continue to say Daisy Lane so people recognize your username on here. Daisy Lane sells some really cool vintage. She is a talker, but I say that in such a great way where she has stories and she keeps you entertained. You go into her room and she's showing you the cool stuff and she's telling you about it. Just kind of talking about her warehouse and her store and showing her items. And I just love it. I absolutely enjoy Daisy Lane Show. This is another newer seller that is absolutely growing like fire, just killing it. Every time I go on the show, there's like 20 or 30 people in there, which is almost unheard of for brand new sellers. So congratulations, Daisy Lane. Let's see, honey, let's go back up and see when the next shows are. Today at 9:45. I hate military time. 9:45. Tomorrow at 9:45. So we have some vintage playing cards, some mini marvels. So as you can see, she does some like themed shows, but she also does some just variety type shows. And anytime I've been in her shows, she's always happy to take requests and to show you items. And super just really knowledgeable about the items. And I like that from a vintage seller. So y'all hop into that giveaway. Let's go back and keep talking a little bit about feedback. I do see a comment here. I don't understand why they can leave feedback on a Givey. I think they started doing that. I think it's part of as accountability for the seller to make sure that the sellers are doing the giveaways that they said they were going to do. It does suck that somebody can review a free item, but I also understand it from a business perspective. It's holding sellers accountable to something. Let's see. Is it wise to keep a list of how items are packed to refer back to if a complaint or bad review is submitted? M. Zengel, that's up to you. Honestly, I think if you are if you don't sell a whole lot of items and that's a doable thing, I don't think it can hurt. I can't do it in my business. I think as you grow, there's some time and cost benefits that just don't make sense. So the bigger you get, the time that I would invest to keeping a list like that compared to the amount of complaints that may come through doesn't make sense for me to do that. So I think that's something you might want to consider before you invest a lot of time into keeping a list. I prefer to invest my time in packing it as well as I can and shipping it the best possible way that I can. I have found for me that's successful. Have I had items break? Absolutely. We're resellers, it's going to happen. But it's very low. My percentage of breakage is extremely low for the number of items I've sold. And I don't say that in a bragging way. I just say that instead of keeping track of how it's packed, I'd rather invest more time in packing it and not do that step. Peg Mom, he is a genius. I don't know who you're talking about, but I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to take your word for it and agree with you. All right, just kind of seeing if there's any questions before I go back. I record my shipping process, but if you're moving lots of inventory, it will be lengthy. The videos helped me in other reselling lands. So there you go. I mean, so maybe recording is good too. We record shows. I mean, my shows are recorded. I do refer back to them when I need to. I love discounts. Trying to get into a Zoe's Treasures package is like breaking into Fort Knox. Okay, but let's put this in perspective. You purchase swung vases from me, and I am very afraid of them breaking when they ship. So, okay, Southern Charm. You know what? I'm going to take this as a good thing. Yes, we do try to pack. Does that mean stuff never breaks? No, stuff breaks, but we do our best. And that's all you can ask for, right? As a seller, it's all you can do. Daisy Lane. Daisy Lane just bought Paul's 564 a cup of coffee. Y'all, thank you so much to Daisy Lane for that cup of coffee, and give her a follow. She really does do cool shows. She is an up-and-coming, fast-rising new seller. All right, let's see if no other questions I'm missing right now. So we're going to go to the next giveaway really quick here. All right, so is there another one? Yes, okay, I thought there was. Yeah, I thought I saw it. All right, so we're starting a giveaway. Just make sure. Tabitha's Closet. Miss Tabitha. Tabitha's Closet. Let's go see who you are. Do I know you? I'm sorry if I don't recognize names right away. I am trying to learn them, but some names are new to me. So Miss Tabitha, Samantha, Tabitha's Closet. I love thrifting and sharing my finds. Thrifting has always been a passion of mine. I've sold on another site in the past. I'm located in Florida. Yay, another Florida buddy. On a farm. I do have animals. I love meeting all the amazing people in this community. It is really amazing, isn't it? I sell mostly women's and men's clothing with some kids. I sell other random things. It's worth flipping. I will sell it. I sell new with tags and pre-loved. And then we have some disclaimers like no cancellations. And then again, here's another one. If there's an issue, please reach out to me. They want to make it right. This just confirms what I'm saying. Sellers want to make it right. The majority of sellers out here. P.S. My husband says I am wasting my time, so help me prove him wrong. Y'all, I want to go buy from her just to prove the husband wrong. I'm on team wife. Yes, I'm team wife here. I need to go help prove the husband wrong. All right, let's scroll down and let's see what some of these items are. Look at, I like the embellishment on those jeans. Those are nice. Really cool jacket. Lots of cool stuff. Is that jewelry? Yep, some jewelry, some clothing. And when are your next shows? Tomorrow at 2:15, there is a show. And then 7-2 at 2:15, 7-5. So it looks like 2:15 is the time. I love that consistency. It lets your buyers know when you're going to be on. Like I can look at my watch and just kind of, 2:15. All right, I'm going to go see Tabitha's Closet. So y'all, Tabitha's Closet is going to buy you a coffee. Please bookmark and follow if those type of items are your thing. Or is it 9:15? It is 9. Sorry. Thank you. I love discounts. It's 9:15. I didn't see the one after there. It's military time. Gets me every time. 9:15, not 2:15. 9:15. I hate military time. This is all my husband uses. Of course, he was military for 20 years. So yes, it's natural to him. I may be a CPA, but little secret, CPAs don't do math. We really don't. I failed college algebra 3 times. We don't do math. We do debits and credits and law and regulation. It's different. It's not math. All right. So Tabitha's Closet is buying you a cup of coffee. I want to get back to the feedback. You're in law enforcement. My husband is now in law enforcement after retiring. Yes, he's been in but law enforcement too. Yep, natural for you. As buyers and sellers, and maybe some of you don't know this. So Whatnot has a beta program right now where some of us sellers have opted into handling our own customer service. So before the beta program, Whatnot did all customer service. All we saw were stars and written reviews. Other than that, we did not know what was going on. We could go to like an account health. I don't think it was called account health at the time, but we can go to a screen and see if there was a refund. But we really wouldn't know something bad happened until Whatnot said, hey, guess what? We're giving them their money back. Now, those of us who have opted in, those emails come to us. We see the request. We either approve or deny refunds. But on the buyer side, you don't know that. The buyer cannot tell who's opted in or opted out of this seller program. So as a buyer, if something breaks and you're just going to go straight to Whatnot, you know what? That seller's probably going to know anyways, because that is going to get routed to them. That email is going to get routed to them if they are in the beta program. Just go to them first, because as a seller, it kind of irks me when somebody just goes straight to Whatnot. Yeah, maybe I don't physically have the ability to write you a refund check or to put the money in your bank, but I want to know as a seller. So it kind of irks me when I see somebody just go straight to Whatnot and then I get the email and I'm like, dude, why didn't you just reach out to me? Like, I wanted to make it right. So you don't know. You never know if they're in that program or not, and they're going to find out anyways. Give them the courtesy. Assume the best in your sellers, that they aren't trying to sell you crap, right? Let's see. No other questions? All right, y'all. Do you guys have more questions? Tabitha's Closet's about to buy you coffee in 15 seconds. Buying somebody in this room coffee. Thank you for coming in through a shared link, and thank you for sharing the link. I appreciate that. I'm trying to wait for the giveaway here to go so that I can have like a complete train of thought, which is rare for me. Who is getting this coffee? Emla Fox, is that an L? Emla Fox, you just won a cup of coffee courtesy of Tabitha's Closet, so thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Let's see. I just want to make sure if we're missing any, I don't want to miss any. We do have another one. Let's start this next giveaway and check them out. You guys can think of some more questions in the meantime. All right, so that is up and going. Giveaway is going again, another $5 cup of coffee. And this one is from Mrs. Billy. Let me write that down so that I can be sure to say it correctly. Mrs. Billy, are you going to be able to bring that one up? Born Again Threads, Mrs. Billy. Wow. Oh my gosh, you have 20,000 followers. That is so, you have been on here building up your followers, building up like your presence before you started selling. It is so obvious because your sales are 134 sold. So you're still a newer seller. Congratulations. Welcome to What Not Selling. I think that's awesome. Unapologetically I can't say that word. That's my say it again. Apostolic. That is my, we all have certain words. We just little up. Yep, there you go. Happily married with 2 teenage kids, loving my family and loving my God. Selling pre-loved and new ladies modest apparel. Easel, POL, Free People, Ann Taylor. So a lot of really well-known brands and much, much more coming soon. Lots of upcycling. Proud Goliath Raider and Zell for Deal Prayer Warrior. Awesome. Let's take a look at what you have. Oh, look at, I love that it's modest clothing because, not everything needs to be all like, let's show stuff. It doesn't have to be that way. So pretty. And I love that you have dresses and it looks like you have a good variety of sizing too. So that is awesome. Y'all, if this is something you're interested in, please bookmark and follow. Let's go check out when your next show is. Today at 7:30, look, I got the time right this time, y'all. Today at 7:30 and tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning. Scroll down a bit. So we got quite a few shows going on. Looks like some, like Fire in My Bones. I like that. Is that a raid train? No, that's just a really cool thumbnail that you came up with. I love it. Y'all, if this is interesting to you, if these are the type of items that you like, please bookmark and follow. And Mrs. Billy is buying you guys a cup of coffee in about 3 minutes. Let's see if we have any other questions. I don't see questions. So if you guys have any questions, anything you want to talk about, throw that in the chat. If not, I always have a list. Y'all, I always have a list over here I can talk about. So one of the things I wrote down that we could possibly talk about somewhere in here, I write it down like I think I'm organized, but is verified buyers. I don't hear people talking about this very often. I was in a chat room and I gotta say, I was a little out of character, got into a little, I don't want to say tiff, but a slight difference of opinion with the chat person. And normally I don't do that. It's just kind of rude. And afterwards I felt terrible. But they were saying that they always turn on verified buyers. So if you're not familiar with it, when you're setting up a show, you can click verified buyers only. And that means that in order for somebody to purchase in your show, they have to be verified by Whatnot, which is like they have to have a buying history. It means they have to have bought from other people before. And there's usually like a $10 hold on their credit card just to make sure their payment method is a valid payment method. Jody, I'll answer you in just a second. I just saw your question. Y'all, there's 1 minute and 32 seconds left for Mrs. Billy's coffee. Please pop into that giveaway. Mrs. Billy is going to buy you some coffee today. So to be a verified buyer, you have to go through that process with Whatnot. If I'm a seller, I can turn on in my show only verified buyers can buy. I disagree with that. Again, you do what works for you. For me, I tried to write out the pros and cons. So I tried to evaluate it fairly and write out the pros and cons of verified buyers. So something good about using verified buyers is it's going to reduce the chance of people like canceling. They have some history, right? They have some validity behind them. That's a pro. The cons, it could be their very first purchase on Whatnot and you're not letting them buy from you. You've just alienated a buyer immediately. To me, that con, just that one, outweighs anything good that would come from verified buying. Now, if you're a seller that has gotten burned a lot, maybe it makes sense to you. I'm really curious to hear from you guys what you guys think. Another look says, I keep it on now. I didn't at first, but I had so many failed payments. See, maybe it's just like experience, because I haven't had a lot of failed payments. Like that's just not been my history with the buyers. So maybe that obviously kind of biases my view on it. Y'all, there is like 5 seconds. We're going to count down for the coffee that Mrs. Billy is buying for you. There we go. Who's going to get this coffee? Wild Meadow Threads, Wild Meadow Threads, Wild
Congratulations.
Meadow Threads. Congratulations. Mrs. Billy just bought you a coffee. Thank you for coming to the show. All right. So verified buyers. Let's see what else people have to say about it. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Really quick, Jody's Junk and Gems. The stickers for my packing, if you're talking about the ones that say Zoe's Treasures, I just print those on my thermal printer. They're pretty basic. But if you're talking about those really cool holographic ones that have been on my boxes recently, those are from Natural State of High. Honey, would you tag Natural State of High? I don't know if she was in here earlier. I don't know if she's still here. So if you're talking about the plain, round, white, yellow ones with black Zoe's Treasures, that's me. They're basic. I do it for name recognition. I'm not going to lie. I put it on there for name recognition. But if you're talking about the really cool ones that say Zoe's Treasures or your package has finally arrived, there's a couple of cool different sayings. Those are all from Natural State of High. I'm pretty sure she makes them and she does an amazing job and her prices are really good. And she customizes them to you and she sells them in packs. So I think my husband's tagging her if she's not in here already. Definitely check her out if you want some stickers. Very reasonable prices to buy stickers from. Yes, stickers are great. So I would assume you're asking about the really cool ones from her. Let's see. I don't do it either. So back to like verified buyers, I don't do that. We have another one that keeps it on because of failed payments. We always have 1 or 2 in a show. So I Love Discounts says for like failed payments, they have 1 or 2 in a show. It sucks, but it just goes back into the next show to resell. Yeah. Oh, I Love it. She's doing her 7-day show right now. Y'all, let's go read into her. I Love Discounts. Can you check? Is she on like right this minute? She is? All right, cool. I hate to just like jump and run, but if she's on, I would love to raid into her. You guys, we have 33 people in here. Please stay. Let's go raid Natural State of High. She is doing 7 days, 7 days, a show every single day. This is going to be great. All right. Cynthia says they don't use verified buyers. We're going to pick this conversation back up next Friday. Thank you all for being here. I really want to go bless Natural State of High today because she is just a good person. Like she is a good person. So thank you so much. I've had a great day. Have a good weekend, everybody. We're going to go raid her.
Honey, what are you doing?
Nothing.